You think about how many devices are online today. IBM estimates 20 billion connected devices by 2020. I mean, that's a staggering number, right? How do you protect all of those devices? At the end of the day, you can't. And so we really need to be putting the onus on the device manufacturers and the people who are building these devices and deploying them. The onus of security is on them. Mm-hmm. We can't be responsible for it because we don't have the budget, and it's just an impossibility. And so what's really interesting, I'd love your thought on this, is you start to see new regulation like in Europe where they're rolling out GDPR. They're basically going to be just simply fining manufacturers and companies if they get confidential information gets breached. Perhaps we need something similar here in the US, and I know there's a lot of debate about this, but if a device is procured, deployed, and ultimately gets hacked because that manufacturer didn't do their diligence, should they be the ones that are fined? Should the onus be on them? I think it should be. And it's while ultimately the responsibility ends with all of you, you have to at least trust that the manufacturers that you're purchasing from are doing the right thing and doing a good job.
How does the crowdsourcing model that you guys have worked to perfect at Synack, how can that be applied at the city and state level to kind of distribute the effort to help find the vulnerabilities for the greater good, rather than it falling on the shoulders of one?
So to your question about how can we leverage kind of crowdsourcing or other innovative models, I think innovation is absolutely a necessity when we're dealing with the cybersecurity challenges of today. We have to be thinking outside the box. I mean, finding good talent in cybersecurity is incredibly difficult. There's an estimated 3.8 million open cybersecurity jobs by the year 2021. There's no way we're going to fill all of these jobs and find competency, which is why we have to be looking to the external vendors to help us with this. We really innovated in this space by using crowdsourcing to say the best and brightest minds are not necessarily just in our local confines, but they're all over the world. So how can we use them in a trusted, controlled way? And we built a whole platform to enable them to do that. It doesn't have to just be us. It could be any company that does type of security testing, but we all need to be really vigilant about taking this seriously. I actually think there should be almost like a cyber NATO. At the end of the day, we're all getting attacked by the same people, the same threat. And unless we're all working together, every single country is working together to try to solve this problem, we're never going to win. We're never going to get ahead. And we are so far behind right now. The cyber war has already started. I think the next 9/11 is going to be in cyberspace, and I think it could be activated at the click of a mouse.
Every city is trying to tap into the new innovation, the next generation of innovators. Jay, you spent a long time in Washington, D.C. in the bureaucracy of this area, and now you're in what's seen as one of the most innovative places in the world in San Francisco and Silicon Valley. What is your advice to city leaders in this room of how to tap into that innovative culture, to take advantage of the amazing talent there, the amazing ideas, and how to distribute those so that it's not seen as just within the borders of California or New York or other tech hotbeds, Austin, other places, but that all the cities around the country and the world can take advantage of that?
Yeah. I like to think that the NSA is one of the least bureaucratic places within the federal government, though the bureaucracy is still certainly there. When I was in the walls of NSA and decided to leave to start this company, we said, okay, everything that the government does, let's do the opposite. It sort of is held true. We really empower our employees to come up with ideas and execute on those ideas. We give them budget and resources as they need it. We create a culture where they focus solely on the problem at hand and solving those problems. We get, the Silicon Valley way is, providing lunch and breakfast and dinner for free and cater everything and hold their hands. And there's a reason you do that. It's because you just don't want to distract people. You want them to really just focus. We are able to attract the best and brightest because we're working on really interesting and challenging problems, and that's ultimately what you need to be pitching to attract the best and brightest. I think you all have an incredibly difficult task at hand, I think that Silicon Valley, that same model can be applied to any city in reality. Obviously, we have the benefit of having the largest hotbed of venture capitalists in the world, but VCs understand. People, not everyone can afford living in Silicon Valley. The prices are insane. It doesn't even make any sense anymore. Companies are starting to realize that too. You can't attract talent to Silicon Valley anymore because no one wants to move there or live there. So you guys have an advantage because the lower cost of living of where you are. So take advantage of that. Give incentives for companies to be there, create, an office space that's exciting and that mimics kind of what Silicon Valley has done. And, I think it should be pretty easy, to be honest, because everyone loves the startup ecosystem and just wants to be part of it.